Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 5:59 p.m.
6 o'clock on a Sunday evening? Well, something's weird here, right? This isn't normal. The reason is that it snowed this weekend quite a bit, and it's quite cold, and so I didn't go out. Instead, I stayed home and played video games. But I do have something to do tomorrow that's going to require camera stuff. Hence, I thought I would record something. It's a bit different from usual, but I think it will be interesting. As you may or may not know, I have talked about before my significant other being a music instructor and also being in college. She has a project that's coming up, and this project is different from the other projects that she's had to do before that I've helped with. The other ones being recording performances and rehearsals, things like that. This is going to be teaching someone who has never learned an instrument before. Me. I've never played an instrument. I don't know how to play them. We're going to record a couple videos of us doing that. Now, it needs to be real low key to keep the anxiety and stress down because it's more of a one-on-one situation. So I'm not going all out in this situation like I would before. I've recorded a few things for her in the past, and it's been performances, rehearsals, like I said. And in that situation, I use multiple cameras, lights, recording equipment, go all out. We're not going to do that this time. Keep it fairly low key. So it's not exactly an interview style where I would set up two cameras recording the two of us, maybe get a wide shot if necessary. It's a little bit less than that. Still going to do a wide shot and then just one other camera as a close-up. The reason being is that you're not allowed to cut around in any way. This is a project. It is meant to test how well she teaches. For that reason, you can't just cut around any mistakes that happen. It has to be one take continuously. At that point, why would I need two cameras? Well, I plan on doing picture-in-picture for the close-up stuff. As long as the one continuous take is going on, they'll be able to tell we're not trying to cut around anything, just make the video a little bit better. So, two cameras. I plan on using the Sony because that's pretty much what I've been shooting on anyway. My only fear with that is that it might overheat, because it does do that when I start recording. I don't need to do 4K 60 for this, so as long as I remember, I'll change the settings. It'll be fine. Shouldn't overheat at that point. Maybe I'll stick the GoPro on there as a backup just in case to use. And then the second one I'll use is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera that I have. I'd usually use the Ursa, but again, because this is trying to be low key, low stress, just a relaxed kind of teacher student thing, not a full on performance, I'm not going to use the Ursa. I'm not going to set up multiple cameras in different ways. One that I did before, the last performance I recorded was on the stage. It was a live performance. I was up in the booth, which is my most comfortable place because of my history of running lights and sound, and I pressed play to play the sound, and then recorded from two cameras up there. I had a wide angle that captured the full stage, and then one that was zoomed in. I was actually using my Ursa and the Canon zoom lens that I have so that I could get smooth shots of panning and zooming in and out. I manned that camera the whole time and just let the wide go. I had a third camera on the stage pointed at my significant other who was conducting so that you got that, and I pictured that into some of the things because that was a good angle to show. For her project, it was about how well she taught the children, how well they played, and how well she was conducting. So I needed all those angles for that. This, totally different. We're not doing lights. I'm going to do minimal cameras, microphones. For the talking bits, we will need lavs, but because playing instruments blow them out, it's way louder here, so this won't really work for that situation. So I will put a shotgun mic on the Pocket Cinema camera, and I will record from my matched pair of microphones. I don't remember what to call those. It's what I use to record bird calls when I go out specifically to record audio. Anyway, so like I said, this is totally different from normal. This is more of what I would do if this was a gig situation that I was being paid for, which is what I experimented with over the last few years. I had the cameras. I wanted to know what it was like, so I did a few things like this to be paid for with a camera, and I would typically go into them with everything. Every piece of equipment that I can use without going overboard, just to make sure I have it, especially with making sure you don't miss it in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity thing. If you are trying to record a performance and one of your cameras stops working, what do you have to show for that? Nothing. So having backups and multiple cameras would be really useful. In this situation, should be fine just going with the two and everything. This is a different type of video entirely, but this is how I would approach it, and my thought process as to what equipment and why, so we'll go over that. As I said, lav mics, meaning I need two microphones, actual lavalier microphones. I'm wearing one of them, the other one I set out already, and then I need something for them to go into. I only have one pocket recorder, but I do have wireless. This is a little third-party battery charger specifically for my wireless Go 2, as in multiple. Whatever. They will record and they will transmit wirelessly, so I can pump this into one of the cameras in order to have a record of our lavalier microphones. Which, as I said, I got one here, and I'm wearing the other one currently. I will plug this into my mixer, my field recorder, in order to capture the audio that way, not into one of the cameras. The bag I use for the Sony camera pretty much has everything I need in there. It's got a zoom lens in it, so I can get the close-up off of this. The camera's ready to go. I put memory cards in there and formatted it. It's got a shotgun mic, so I can capture the audio there. That's pretty much it. I've got the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema ready to go with a wide-angle lens. That is my classic that I use for that. And then all of my accessories are in here. Should I need... I've got batteries for a monitor. I don't need the monitor, I don't think. So I'm not taking the monitor because the monitor's set up for my other thing that I've got going on. It's over there. But I do have everything else I need, like a shotgun mic. And I'm not going to need an ND filter inside, but it's there. It's in a bag, so I'm taking that. I do have a mount as well in order to put this on the tripod, and I'm taking two tripods, obviously. Now, for audio, this is usually set up ready to go for wildlife, in which I just put everything together in one spot and just put this on the ground and record with short little things. But I do actually have longer XLR cables, I hope, in this bag. They should be in this bag. Yes. I've got some XLR cables there, so I can plug in those, and I can just put them, they definitely have mic stands, so everything is there. That's good to go. I just need to check on the batteries and wipe the memory card in that from the last time I recorded. I think that's all I need. Two cameras, Sony Blackmagic, two lenses, they're both in there ready to go. I've got batteries for the Sony, and I can plug it in if I need an external, depending on how long we're recording. It shouldn't be very long. They're supposed to be short videos. I have V-mount batteries for the Blackmagic to go on there. That takes care of the angles as far as that. I'll probably bring the GoPro anyway and just stick it on just in case, but I don't expect to need it for anything. I don't really plan on it. It's not the highest quality. For microphones, two lavs, recording systems, the wireless recorders, I mean. I've got a shotgun mic on both cameras, so I'll have something to sync to between the audio and video. And then my recorder and dual mic setup. I think that's everything. So this was obviously very different, as I said, but I thought this would be an interesting video at the very least to see how I tackle something in a different sense. Instead of going out and looking for wildlife, this is the more of the planning and preparing for a shoot that essentially would be a gig. If I weren't doing it for my significant other, I'd be paid for this in order to go record, and I probably wouldn't be in it. I'm not going to be able to share anything that I shoot tomorrow because she's not comfortable with that, and I totally understand. This is just for a school project, so better to have it here, and that's why I'm talking about it. Otherwise, I would just do it while I'm recording tomorrow and actually show the setup of what my whole plan is for everything. So instead, there's this. It's just me talking about it, my thought process into what camera angles do I need, how would I go above and beyond. Like, if I were going all out on this, you got two students, or teacher student, two people sitting there, right? So you get cross angles for interview, so you can get a solo of them. I'd do a wide angle shot, so you can do both. I would have a close up on them playing the instruments, and maybe even one from behind. I don't know if that would be entirely necessary, probably not at all, but that would be 5 cameras. I'd make it work. It'd be a whole lot more to edit. Not at all necessary. As I said, this was meant to be low-key, and I'm not to go overboard like I usually do. But yes, I would do that. I would do lights. I would have multiple light setups so that you get good coverage of everyone and the lighting is nice. We're not going to do that. We'll just use whatever lighting is available in the room. The microphones, probably I would do exactly the same, except I'd use higher quality ones if I had them. But still laving them, miking them with a lav, and shotgun mics, so you have that, and the matched pair of for the room audio to get the musical instruments. I would do all that exactly the same. That is exactly what I did when I recorded the performance. We had a pair of really nice microphones. I don't remember what they were, but the school bought them, so they had way more money than I do. But they were a pair of matched microphones that I ran through a snake up into my mixer, so I had those. I had a lav. There were choral mics. Didn't use the choral mics. That theater had a whole thing with the choral mics being very feedback with the onstage monitors that we set up. Anyway, I would go all out there. I don't know that much about audio, but that's what I picked up over the years of trying my best to learn. So yeah, that is it. Hopefully everything goes well tomorrow. I think by planning it and talking everything through here, I'm able to make sure I have everything that I need. Do I have everything I need? I think that's everything I need. Unless I think of anything else. That should be how I do this. We'll see. Got it all packed up. The only thing I didn't mention were tripods, and that's because they were back in the corner. I've already pulled them out. They're just 2 cheap video tripods that I've been using for years now of various things. But yeah. Maybe this was interesting. I have no idea. But it was certainly something. And it is something I needed to do anyway, and I figured I can just get everything ready and pack it all up for tomorrow, or I can record what I'm doing and talk about the why and make a little video out of it. So, hopefully this comes together in some way, and next weekend hopefully the weather will be better and I'll get out to doing wildlife stuff again. Now I need to charge these.